Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to tackle the front coilovers, and there you go, right there. Changing out the stock suspension. So today we are doing the front coilovers, and it also comes with new sway bar end links. So we will be tackling that as well. Let's go out to the garage and bang this out. Okay, back out in the garage. So it's pretty straightforward. So you have these two bolts and nuts here. Boom, boom, boom. This one's a 19 millimeter for the bolt, and the nut is a 22 millimeter. I have an impact gun. I already took out the other one because of what I was doing yesterday. And yeah, so just make sure you disconnect the brake line and the ABS sensor here. Then you come up here, you got this nut that's got to come off. That is a 22, I believe. 22 or 24, I'll tell you in a second, but when we get back to it. But pretty straightforward. I threw an impact gun on it, just ripped it right off, because we don't need that where we're going. Yeah, let's get in there and start tearing it apart. Okay, so the one back here, 22 millimeter. This one right here, 19 millimeter, we'll back that out. Thing to remember when doing this, you have the bolt, and then you have a washer and nut. So the washer and nut go together. Another thing to do, so you can save your ass, so this thing doesn't drop on you, stick a bolt back in. Yeah, put a bolt back in so when you loosen the top, it doesn't drop down on you. So let's go back up top. Alright, this nut is a 24 millimeter. Goes right on there, just let it rip, it comes right off. Alright, back underneath the car. Got everything right there. And then just start wiggling. Okay, up top, I put the little nut back on just a little bit, just so it doesn't drop down on us when we go to take this off. So just remember to take the bolt off that was in here, and then just start wiggling and pulling. Okay, so I'm an idiot. Gotta take the sway bar off. That's a 16 millimeter, and not terrible. I took it off on the other side already, so it's very easy. And this one's a 14 millimeter. Comes off easy, doesn't have to use an Allen key or any of that stuff, so just put it on here. This doesn't spin, so it comes right off. Okay, so now the sway bar's off, we can pull the whole strut assembly out. Okay, so let's grab here and loosen this nut up here. Up there, and we should drop right down. There we go. Alright, I forget taking that off. Something doesn't seem right, so I think you gotta leave this on and reuse the old hardware, because that just doesn't seem right. Because then this comes loose. So now I'm going to stick the coilover inside of these and lay it up in there. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that's the way we want it to go. Let's start you there. Take a bolt and try and wedge that up in there. Okay, so now that this is just chilling here, gotta jack up the suspension to get the strut up into the hole where it goes and mount it to the plate. Okay, so now after getting the strut up in here, you need the 5 millimeter Allen wrench, 24 millimeter wrench, and just crank it down. That's good. Then you can take your little adjuster, stick it in, and that is a 17 millimeter to snug it up. Okay, so now all hooked up. Looks nice. Just gotta tighten this up and put the sway bar on. But the torque specs on this are kind of weird. It's like 63, and then second pass goes 74, and then turn 90 degrees. I'm just gonna impact it. My impact gun gets to do about 110 pounds, so I'm just gonna go with that. So I'm not messing with that 90 degree crap. So one thing to remember is right here, that's your alignment. So if you want an initial alignment, just push it all the way up. See how it moves? Like that. It moves, so when you tighten it, make sure it's pushed all the way back before you tighten it. And that should give you a rough alignment on where you want to be. Okay, new sway bar end links right here. You got to play with the sway bar down here, wiggle it in place, get it roughly where you want it, adjust it, and it should go in. There it goes. And these new ones are 17 millimeter. So go there. Alright, 17 millimeter deep socket would be better off. Nice and solid. Okay, so that does it for the coilovers. Just a little note. I reused the old nut that was there because it didn't come with a new one. So make sure you do that. This is a 19 millimeter. Just snugged it down a little bit. You can twist and adjust. Come down here. Everything is in. Looks very nice. Sway bar's in, sway bar end link. And same thing on the other side. So yeah, just make sure you plug this back in, which we're gonna do right now. There it is. Snap, crackle, pop. Put this back in here so we don't have issues. I'll put the rest of the brakes and the wheels back on. Do a quick peek on the other side. And come over here to the passenger side. Everything's in. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, so I'll get this all back together and give it a little test drive before I hit the rest of the suspension. Probably gonna hit the rear suspension next, get that all squared away, all new bushings and stuff. Okay, real quick on the coilovers. Put the tires back on, and I don't know if you can hear that. But the tire is rubbing on the coilover. So, come over to this side, and I had the same issue here. I was about to put this tire on, or this wheel on, and you could see right there a little rub action. So I'm going to adjust that a little bit, push it out, and see if that helps us at all. Hope it does. Stay tuned. Okay, quick update. I was able to just loosen these two up, and then this is an 8 millimeter little box wrench, and when I loosened it up, I did about 6 quarter turns on that, so about a turn and a half. Pressed it up and in, and then I threw the wheel and tire on, and now I have clearance. So, solution to the problem. It's very easy, but I'm gonna have to get this thing aligned anyway, so when we get to that point I will deal with it, but just to get it down on the ground, I'm good with it. Okay, another quick update. Coilovers are on, wheels are on, and this is a little gap you get. It's barely a finger. So when you put these in, if you want to adjust them, you got to. I got to play around with this car a little more, so I'll adjust it then, but I'll see how it is like this. After this, I guess we're on to the back and some of the rear suspension bushings. So stay tuned for the next one. See you later. Out.